before you upload that Banlist video, before you share that Banlist tweet or Banlist message, watch this video and I'll break down why we probably don't need a ban list and why we should actually have a bit of faith in the community to see what they can figure out and then how we can go from there. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Shahad. I create content for the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG and Master Duel. You're probably wondering, what on earth am I talking about? Of course we need a ban list, Mystic Mine, Artifact Scythe. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying let's put a little bit of faith in the community to actually develop a solution to these problems going forward so we don't have to always rely on a ban list. Is that optimistic? Maybe. However, I think in the past we've already been able to deal with ways, or Konami has actually released products that make certain cards that were busted not as popular or not as represented. Now, I know Scythe is an incredibly toxic card. However, you don't see it as much, right? Ironically, I think I lost one game to Scythe Flock. But that's beside the point. The reason why I'm saying this is I think the way the cards are releasing these days, they're so powerful, they're so power crept, that actually cards like mine and Scythe maybe don't need to be banned, or maybe cards around it might need to be hit. And really, we should just rely on the community and the new cards to solve these problems. Things that come to mind are the Sprite and Frog format. Because of these, Branded and Sword Soul, which by the way are both at full power, ended up taking a step down simply because of the new power levels. So it's almost interesting to think that we all hated cards like Nibiru, cards like the Sword Soul strategy, and now they're kind of obsolete, right? You got Gigantic Sprite absolutely shutting down cards like Nibiru, and it makes you think, what is coming out in Darkwing Blast, in the Shuzu pack, the Magnificent Mavens, that's going to make the game change drastically. I did mention the Shuzu because it's just so important. That archetype is going to change the way tournament is played forever and potentially make it a tier 0 deck. So it makes you think, if we wait 1 or 2 months, what's going to happen to the game, and is it going to be different? Will mine even matter? Now, of course, one thought you might be thinking is Joshua Schmidt in Euros top 16, he played Beat Cop from the Underworld, and he gave a counter to his Mystic Mine. The reason why is that was a successful meta call, which meant Telement players that played Galaxy Cyclone could not out the Mystic Mine. However, that won't be the case for everyone. People catch on and metas change quickly. If you ever played a card game in the past or Yu-Gi-Oh, you'll notice that metas are changing drastically, tech cards are changing drastically, and one thing we've all started doing is maining Dark Blue Normal, which is really fascinating because the previous meta, if I said that to you, you'd think I was crazy for going first, right? But in this meta, it just makes sense. And that's why I think we should leave a lot of the decision making to the community about how to deal with cards and maybe give it a bit of time. That said, the other side of the argument is maybe we do need a ban list. Cards like Mystic Mine, cards like Artifact Scythe, they're incredibly toxic. And, you know, maybe if these cards were out of the game, I think the health of the game would be a lot better. And I completely agree with that decision. But one thing I do want to share that I'm really excited about when it comes to the ban list season is cards that will come back and be relevant again thanks to other cards coming off the ban list. Cards that come to mind are Orcust Harp Horror, Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, Miscellaneous Saurus. Now these are cards that are super impactful and were hit on the ban list. However, with the power levels that we're seeing with Sprite and Telement, does it mean these cards can come back? And if they do, how much of an impact will they have on the flip side? And this is why I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Because there's so much that can be broken, there's so much that can be deconstructed, and it makes you think, if Telement or Sprite is supposed to be the best deck, why did Recus and Avalon win? Which just throws an absolute curveball into the whole mix, because now we got to think about this plant deck, which plays at a very unique level, makes the opponent play their game. And again, it just throws a curveball because now you're thinking, wait, if we're expecting Telement Sprite to be the best deck in the room, why did one deck manage to get through? And then the other talking point is a Mystic Mine Altergeist deck made it through as well. So now it just makes even more sense to actually think and take a step back and realize, hang on, the meta hasn't been figured out yet. There's still new things happening. Before we even have a ban list, can we solve these problems first? So I didn't want to keep the video too long, but I did want to make a discussion, just get it out there for the people that are right now interested in the topic that's trending, which is ban list discussion. Before we even get too excited about it, do we even need a ban list? Yes, there are cards that are incredibly toxic and probably should be taken out of the game, but I don't think the meta has been solved yet. It feels weird to say that we need help from Konami, aka the ban list, before we've even solved it ourselves. Beat Cop is a cool tech from Mystic Mine. You can just play Cosmic Cyclone. I'm not saying that tournament players made a mistake when doing that. It just meant for that tournament, Cyclone was not as impactful. They played Galaxy Cyclone, therefore the B Corp tech worked and it went amazing as well. But then on the other hand, again, you got to talk about the Mine, the Mystic Mine Ultrageist, the Sanavalon Recar, Sprite Element. When you throw everything together in one pan, you realize nothing's been figured out yet. We're all still testing. And I think we should just give it a few moments until the ban list actually arrives. So yeah, that's been the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope I was able to make sense of some of the points that I've raised. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to drop a like. If you find any takes interesting or you disagree or agree, let me know in the comments. I'd love to have a discussion and talk about it. I really do think that the ban list is not needed right now. We just need to experiment, test, and figure out what is the best deck in the format, what's the best way to out certain toxic cards like Cypher Mine. That said, Power of the Element is such a crazy pack. Maybe it makes sense to expect a ban list. But yeah, guys, that's been the video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.